We begin first with foreign correspondent Trey Yingst. He's live on the ground in southern Israel. Hi, Trey.
Yeah, hey, Jillian, good afternoon. Here at the Hatzarim Air Base, some of those released hostages are receiving the first medical treatment in Israel before they are taken to other regional hospitals. This has been a day of anticipation. So many across this country waiting to see if their loved ones would get to safety and if the ceasefire would hold. This all started this morning at 7 a.m. local time. The ceasefire went into place. It was violated just one time, but it did hold. Ultimately, those 13 Israelis were released into the hands of the Red Cross. They went into Egypt and then made their way into Israel. Additionally, there were a group of 11 foreign nationals that were released from Hamas custody as part of a separate deal today, also returning to Israel, where they were met by embassy staff, mainly from Thailand. As this is taking place, there are questions about if this process will play out tomorrow. We're getting the names and the faces of these individuals that got out today. You mentioned 9-year-old Ohad, who marked his birthday while he was inside Gaza. He was released along with his mother and his grandmother. So many families, mostly from the small community known as the kibbutz of Nir Oz, that sits just over the border from Gaza. We were there, dozens of people taken hostage, but again, 13 released, and it appears 11 of them are from that community of Nir Oz. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he's hopeful today that more hostages will get released tomorrow, and had this to say about the situation.
I emphasize to you, the families, and to you, the citizens of Israel, we are committed to the return of all our abductees. This is one of the goals of the war, and we are committed to achieving all the goals of the war.
The reality on the ground is that it will be a difficult battle ahead, because this is a temporary pause in the fighting, a ceasefire for just 4 days as part of a larger deal that was negotiated by the Qataris. When that is done, not only Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, also the country's defense minister, Yoav Gallant, have made very clear they will resume their campaign against Hamas inside Gaza. Jillian.
Trey, a short while ago, President Biden was asked by a reporter. He said he doesn't have any information about the condition of the remaining American hostages. I'm just curious whether you have heard anything on the Israeli side from your sources there about the condition of the Americans or, frankly, any of the hostages that remain in Hamas captivity.
So the short answer is no. The Israelis didn't even have information on the condition of these 13 hostages that were released today until they made it into the hands of the Red Cross. And that's been part of the challenge here. Initially, in these negotiations, it appeared that Israel would push to ensure the Red Cross had access to the other hostages, including the American citizens inside Gaza. That did not happen. And then as a result, there was new pressure on the negotiations. They were very fragile and about to fall apart. But then they went forward, and these 13 were released today. And my producer is just handing me this right now. And it appears at this moment, and this is an update we're getting in just now, Jillian, the Israelis have received the list of the hostages that will be released tomorrow. This is a piece of good news because the list was due earlier this evening. It was not delivered by Hamas. But again, we can confirm at this hour, Israel has received the names of the hostages that will be released tomorrow. And if all goes as planned, we can expect to see a dozen or more released back into Israel as part of this larger ceasefire deal. Jillian.
All right. Thank you. Important news there, development in the story. Trey, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.